Ashley and Goran. I'm coining them the kick dogs of our website because these guys know their soccer stuff, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the European soccer action, getting some insights for you guys for Saturday morning's action. Guys, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Another great weekend ahead, Chris.
Absolutely. Ashley, how are you doing? You had a great weekend, a great day yesterday, I saw.
Yeah, great day yesterday. Looking forward starting off with the winter today, so that's nice. And I'm up bright and early here, almost 4 a.m. in Hawaii. And this is about the only thing I would get up that early to do is talk some footy. So I'm excited, super excited about our first weekend live show too. This is awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got to be a labor of love to be able to get up in the morning and do it. But let's get right into the action. I know we got bigger fish to fry, but some of the early action kicking off in the Bundesliga very shortly. So, guys, we're taking a look at all the German Bundesliga, including a headline matchup between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich this afternoon. What do you guys like in the German Bundesliga?
Yeah, definitely, Chris. We have a few 9:30 games in Bundesliga, so let's dig right in. We have a lot of games to go through. So, Ashley, what are your thoughts about Hoffenheim and Eintracht Frankfurt right now?
This is going to be my typical both teams to score and over. I see goals in this one. Frankfurt's kind of turned it up lately, and they've been playing well. And Hoffenheim at home, they're doing better too. So I think that's a great shot for both teams to score and over. One that I really like for goals, surprisingly, is the Bielefeld and Cologne match. I think the total is set at 3. I really just see goals flying in that one. When these two meet head to head, that tends to happen. And I think taking a 3 is pretty safe. I can see it hitting 4, but I think the worst you do is it lands on 3 and pushes. So typically in the Bundesliga, which is why I love this league, you're getting goals. It's not these boring 1-0 matches, right? So.
Yeah, in that game, Hoffenheim, Eintracht, I'm looking at the lineups right now. They got out about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago or so. The lineups are pretty solid, as we could expect. Most of the big players are in, except Kramaric for Hoffenheim, who is still injured, I guess. He is on the bench, but he's the leader assistant, so I think he will be missed. But he didn't start their last game, and Hoffenheim got a nice win there against Fürth. It was 6-3 on the road, so both teams are in pretty solid form right now, scoring quite a lot, especially Hoffenheim. But if we think about Eintracht at the start of the season, they were just horrible. They couldn't score a goal. But
right.
now they are averaging at least 2 a game in the last 6 games. They're looking much better. They're climbing the standings. So we have both teams with solid offense and barely any defense. So I gotta agree with you, Ashley. I think we're gonna see goals in this one. Both teams to score at 2.5 in this one right now is at gonna say minus 125 right now, which is not a bad price at all. But the over is minus 175. I think we could get a lot more value in goals in this game, Ashley.
Yeah, you're talking about the over of 2.5, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So if you guys have a book where you have a 2.75 or a 3, you can probably snag that around a minus 130, which is good. But I think both teams have scored with, like you said, the way Hoffenheim's been playing, both of them offensively and defensively being leaky. I mean, if Grutherford can put up 3 on Hoffenheim, I think there's no reason that Frankfurt can't do even better than that. So see goals galore in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. The defenses are not the strongest part of these teams. Now, you did mention that game, Arminia Bielefeld and Cologne. What made you pick that over 2.5 you have?
Yeah, just reading about it last night and just listening to a podcast this morning, just with, when you have teams that are kind of struggling like this, sometimes when they're playing up against each other, and they played a little bit better lately, they kind of tend to go full force at, they're not playing one of the top league teams like Bayern or Dortmund or something like that. So sometimes, that tends to lead to goals with teams that have kind of been struggling, but turn it on. They kind of start to take it out on each other a little bit. So I just see this as a higher scoring game.
Yeah, I gotta agree. But Armenia is struggling this season. They are one of the weakest teams in the league, even though they have conceded only 19 goals in 30 games, which is not actually bad.
Right.
They're still without a win at home. While Cologne is still without a win on the road, but I'm looking at the lineups. I see Cologne starting with all of their best players. It doesn't matter who starts for Armenia. So honestly, this game, I think I'm going to take Cologne on the money line. It's plus 120. I'm going to give it a shot because Cologne is scoring a lot more goals compared to Armenia's 9 goals in 13 games. Cologne has scored 22 goals. But their defense is sloppy as well this season, so I can see Armenia getting on the scoreboard in this one. But like I said, I'm gonna take Cologne on the money line for plus 120.
I think that's a fantastic bet. Yeah. So you guys have probably noticed I do pick sides sometimes, but I kind of try to do combo bets where we can still win. Like the Zenit match yesterday was a perfect example. They were a minus 500 favorite, I believe. Yeah. But so I just and it doesn't mean they're going to win just because they're that price. And even if they are, I'm not paying it. So I just took them to score in both halves. It ends in a draw. They didn't even win, but still win my bet. So I do like your bet. If I did have to take a side, I would take Cologne here. But I do think that Bielefeld gets on the board. So I'm just going to take the safer both to score and over.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Now we got Bayer Leverkusen and Greuther Fürth playing Leverkusen at minus 500 favorite, actually.
Yeah, so this one I'm definitely I'm going to take a side and goals here. So with Patrick Schick being back, who I've been waiting to come back because he's one of the goal scorers who I'd love to take props on. Not quite sure if he's at 100%, but even him at 80%, he's probably going to net here. So I would shoot for value. I would go, not even just Leverkusen over 2.5. I would shoot for Leverkusen to win and over 3.5. And while you're mentioning that, so I wanted to give you guys, I'm actually going to put a full unit on this double here that's involving Bayer Leverkusen. You're getting a fantastic, so this is a 2-match parlay and you're getting it at a plus 130. So if you take Leverkusen to win and over 2.5, and then in the England Premier League, you take Manchester City to win and over 1.5. And I think both of those are highly likely to happen. You get that at a nice plus 130. And I'm going to put a full unit and maybe even a unit and a half on that one. I think that's a pretty good way to start your day to make some money. Yeah,
that's a nice parlay, I got to say. Now, in this Leverkusen game, I'm looking at the lineups, and Leverkusen is going all out. They have Patrick Schick up front, Florian Wirtz is just behind him, Moussa Diaby is on the wing. They are going all out, and I think it's going to be a nice blowout win for them. Greuther Fürth is the newcomer to Bundesliga this season, but I think they will get relegated at the end of the season. They don't have anything going on for them right now. They don't have the offense. They don't have the defense. They have conceded 39 goals in 13 games. That's an average of 3 conceded goals per game. They have only 1 point, and honestly, I think the season was over for them before it even started. Leverkusen at over 3.5 at plus 110. I think that's the pick I'm going to take any day of the weekend.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I honestly think that's where I would leave it. I wouldn't push it any further, but taking the over 3.5 at plus money, I mean, for those of you that are a little bit riskier, like to shoot for more value, I could see this being like a 4-1, 5-1 type match. I do know some cappers who on Leverkusen to shut Greuther Fürth out. I don't take any shutouts when it comes to Bundesliga. Greuther Fürth is horrible, but I think they can score, which even helps us in this case. So if you want to shoot for extreme value, take Leverkusen and over 4.5. But I think don't get too selfish, right? You're getting plus money with Leverkusen over 3.5. So that's the way that I'll be playing it.
Now we have 2 more games left in Bundesliga, but I will go with Augsburg and Bochum. Have you given it any thought about this one, Ashley?
No, not really. I think Augsburg, has some confidence coming off of, obviously they took down the monsters of Bayern Munich, right? But sometimes that also leads to a letdown. They're not going to be as up for this game. I think Bochum scores on them. So if I were going to bet it, I would maybe take Augsburg to win and both teams to score. But I'm personally not going to bet that one. I'm on a few of these Bundesliga matches, and that's not one of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough game to bet. And honestly, like you said, I wouldn't be even counting on Bochum to score. They have scored only 3 goals on the road so far, but I do like Augsburg at home on the money line at +120, +150 right now. So I think they're going to get a win in this one, but like you said, it's a hard game to predict, and I would honestly avoid it, guys.
Yeah, that's a pass for me. Hard pass.
Oh, let's talk about the biggest game in Bundesliga today, Ashley. Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, another der Klassiker in Bundesliga.
Yeah, so this is actually on my premium packages, so I won't go too much into giving that away. I think this is going to be the most entertaining game probably of all the leagues combined. You got just two powerhouses, the monsters that you know, Erling Haaland is back for Dortmund, and you have Robert Lewandowski, who's one of the best players in the world. So I see goals on this one from both sides, and kind of just leave it at that. Yeah, so because I've got this one on both of my premium packages.
Yeah, I think pretty much every soccer capper who likes to bet soccer is having this game in his premium or whatever. And the lineups are not yet out because the game starts at 12:30, but there are some predicted lineups, and I see Haaland and Lewandowski leading both teams. So at the moment, Bayern has a bit more depth and a bit more quality, especially on the bench, because Borussia Dortmund has a ton of injuries. But honestly, if I would take anything like prop wise, there's Lewandowski to score anytime and Haaland to score at any time at +200. Actually,
I was just about to mention that.
I think that the chances of both of them scoring a goal in this game are pretty high, and I honestly think it's going to happen. We see a lot of goals in this matchup. We see a lot of great soccer. And the problem for Borussia Dortmund right now is that they are going to have only 15,000 fans in the standing due to some COVID restrictions in Germany. So without the full stadium behind them, they're going to have a very tough time beating Bayern. So,
right.
Yeah.
And even though like Erling Haaland being one of the best players of the world, and he's back, and he played in the last one, but I think he scored after being in for like 18 minutes. So they're still kind of trying to break him in slowly, get him back. You know, you don't just sit out from playing this sport for that long and just, you know, you're at full speed. But yeah, I absolutely was thinking about that one before the show. I think combining Lewandowski and Haaland to score, and you want to even shoot for higher value, I would take Lewandowski to score 2+ and Haaland to score, because I think these are the kind of games that Lewandowski really wants to show out for. So I would not be surprised to see him score more than once.
Yeah, it could definitely easily happen. Now, since we're done with Bundesliga, Ashley, let's move on to the EPL. What do you say about that, Chris?
Absolutely. Let's take it over to the EPL. Did you guys have any action on the early match between West Ham and Chelsea?
Yeah, I actually had that as a premium, and now I'm wishing I would have shot for more value. I took a lot of people don't take both teams to score when Chelsea's involved. They kind of shut a lot of teams out, but not lately. So I took a shot at the West Ham and Chelsea both teams to score, which hit in the first half, and now it's actually West Ham's up 3-2. So I should have shot for even higher value. So that's a wide open game, but easy winner to start the day for me. So I feel a little bit calm starting off with a winner there, but I don't have the Manchester City. So the only thing that I had them on is the parlay that I already gave you guys with mixed with that Bundesliga match, and that is all I'm on. So those two, that is all I'm on in the Premier League today.
Okay, what are you thinking about that Newcastle United Berlin game?
I mean, it's just you keep waiting, right? Like Newcastle is just due to break through, but if I had to swing at this one, I would take both teams to score. I think Burnley is obviously not any fantastic side, but Newcastle are just conceding pretty consistently. But I think they're going to score. I think Newcastle should get the win here. Yeah, but I'm not touching it. So I would either take a shot at Newcastle, or I would just take a simple both teams to score.
Yeah, I had a Newcastle in that game against Norwich City, and they were actually ahead, but having a player less on the field kind of had a big effect on their game.
Yeah.
That game ended in a 1-1 draw, but honestly, I could see Newcastle getting their first win of the season here.
Yeah.
I think they had a solid game against Newcastle, even with a player short. I think they are improving. It's going to take maybe a bit more time for them to kind of become more consistent. But I think in this game, they're facing a weak team in the EPL. Burnley is not playing well also. So I think this is the perfect place for them to get the first win of the season. And we are getting it at plus 120 at home. It's a tough game to predict, but if anything, I would take Newcastle on the money line.
Yeah, I agree, and especially at plus money, because they're not a bad side, and they can score, and they're not going to stay winless, and who better to get a win against than a Burnley side? So yeah, at plus 120, I think you have a fantastic pick on that one.
Yeah, now we have Southampton and Brighton, actually.
Yeah, so I'll just let you do all the talking on this one. As I've told everyone, the EPL is my least bet league. I do have 2 plays today, but I really pick my spots when it comes to the Premier League. And these mid-table matches, all these teams are so similar and so well balanced. It's tough to find an edge on them. So I steer clear of any games like this with these mid-table teams.
Yeah, you said it. Those teams are pretty hard to predict, and neither of these two is playing great soccer right now. They are kind of somewhere stuck in limbo somewhere. They're not playing well, but they're also not playing horrible. And I would go with the draw in this one. It just smells like 1-1 or 2-2 draw because neither team has good defense, but they're still capable of scoring goals. So
yes,
plus 210 for a draw, and I think the bookies are expecting the draw as well. So maybe sprinkle something with the over 2.5, but I think I'm going to be taking the draw in this one.
Yeah, and just kind of a heads up for some people that we may have that are a little bit new to betting this sport. Sometimes the odds makers will kind of tell you a story, and you just have to kind of listen to it when you look at it. And anytime you see a draw line that's, I'd say, like plus 240 or lower, that's giving you a pretty strong lean that's what they're seeing as a draw. So anytime you're seeing a draw line of like plus 300, doesn't mean it won't end in a draw. But when you're seeing a 240 and lower, that's the odds makers telling you that they're kind of seeing a draw there. So sometimes those are worth a sprinkle, like Goran said.
Now, one of the biggest games in the EPL today, Wolverhampton versus Liverpool, actually.
Yeah, so you know how I am on Liverpool this year. On Mo Salah, this team is just unreal. I've like I said, Liverpool and Bayern Munich, I think, are the best teams in the world right now. I think Wolves haven't been playing horrible defense, but it really doesn't matter the defense. Liverpool is just, I think Liverpool is just going to smash them here. They're smashing everybody. So I think they come out strong and they finish strong, and they just have a swarming, suffocating defense. So I see nothing but a pretty comfortable Liverpool win.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineups, and both teams are going all out. All of their star players are in. We have Salah, Jota, and Mane out for Liverpool. Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago in the midfield, and their defense is as strong as it can get with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Van Dijk, and Robertson in the back. And Wolves are not bad either. They have Raul Jimenez up front and Adama Traore as well. So I can see them getting on the scoreboard in this game. But like you said, Liverpool has been playing just lights out as of late. They're scoring goals for fun. They're beating anyone who comes in front of them. They are playing in the Champions League next week. But that game doesn't mean anything to them. They have already qualified. They have secured the top spot in that. But they're still in the hunt for Chelsea. And now that Chelsea is losing to West Ham, I think Liverpool has a chance to take over the top, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, if they win, Liverpool will take over the top at least for a few hours until Manchester City games. But they have scored 43 goals so far this season, which is absolutely brilliant. And Salah has been outstanding. So what I would like to take in this game is actually both teams to score and Liverpool to win. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think Liverpool does get a win, but let me just quickly create the odds here. Because Liverpool is minus 250 favorites, so there's no really point in betting on that. So, plus 187 on Liverpool to rate both teams to score. And I do think Wolverhampton will get on the scoreboard because their form has been on the rise slightly.
Yeah, and for plus 180, that's awesome value. And I mentioned Mo Salah a lot, but sometimes in the matchups, you're rarely going to get a good price on him just straight up as a goal scorer. So, what do you have the odds for Jota to score here anytime?
Yes, I do. It's plus 137.
Okay, I think that's worth a shot. I think that he's, kind of not necessarily undervalued. Mo Salah gets all the attention as he should. He's one of the best players in the world, but the Jota, he's been scoring well too. So I'll probably throw a little something on him to score anytime.
I know you hate Liverpool, Chris, but you can't deny what we're saying. Eh?
Come at me, Chris.
No. You guys know my stance on Liverpool. As an Everton fan, I can't back Liverpool. It's against my religion. But you guys talked about that Manchester City game, so I guess we're going to move on to the Serie A right now. We got a great matchup between AC Milan and Salernitana going down right now. Milan up early, but we still have some great matchups to finish out the afternoon.
Yeah, let's move on to that. Milan Salernitana is already going out. It's 2-0 for Milan right now. I think it's going to be a blowout win for them. They are shaping their form for the Champions League match against Liverpool. That's a decisive match for them. I see they're dominating. They already have 3 shots a goal in the first 25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's going great for them. I think they will get a nice win here. But what about that Roma-Inter game, Ashley? I know that you are a Roma fan.
I am a Roma fan, but I am typically, if there are 8 games on the slate for Serie A, I'm betting 7 of them, sometimes all 8 of them. But I'm so tired of pulling my hair out over this Roma team that I think both teams get on the scoreboard. I mean, Inter Milan, they were last night anyway, a plus 100, which is insane for as well as they're playing and as shaky as Roma are. But that also kind of scares me because at any point Roma can break out and have a really great game. So, both teams to score is probably just too expensive. I'm not betting it. If I had to, I would just take a shot at the team that's in much better form lately. And I would just take Inter on the money line. And I think a good bet, too, if you just want to stay away from the side and the expensive both teams to score, I would just take Dzeko to score anytime for Inter. 75% of the time, I'd say you're going to hit that one.
Yeah, Inter seems pretty hard team to beat right now. They are not scoring as much as I would expect them to score, especially against weaker teams. But my problem with them right now is that even though they have secured the spot in the next stage of the Champions League, they're playing against Real Madrid next week. I'm not saying they will rest some players here just because they don't need to. But with a win against Real Madrid, they will get the top spot in that group. And I would say it's nicer to win the group than end up in the second place.
Yeah.
But, Roma hasn't lost to Inter in the last 3 home games. I know they are kind of sloppy right now. They are not consistent, especially in the attacking end. They are not scoring a lot.
No.
But I do think they will get to the scoreboard in this one just because I don't see Inter going 4 straight games without conceding a goal. So
for sure.
Over 2.5 is minus 150. That's not a great price, except if you have a parlay and you want to boost it up a little bit. But both teams to score at over 2.5 is minus 110. So this is what I'm going to be taking in this game.
Yeah, I like that bet. And like I said, I actually might even like that more than taking Inter getting them at a plus 100 seems a little bit trappy to me. So I think Roma has the potential if they play well to win this one. So I'd stay away from the side and bet goals or, like I said, Dzeko to score anytime, a goal scorer. I wouldn't pick it. I would just steer clear of the side here. It looks like a trappy line, and I just don't like it.
Now, the biggest matchup is Serie A actually today, Napoli and Atalanta.
Yes. Yep. 2 of my favorites in the league. And so I actually have a premium on this one as well. But I will say that Napoli, super powerful offense. Atalanta, super powerful offense. Atalanta definitely shaky at the back and leaky defense. So I see both teams getting on the scoreboard here. I'm not going to dive too much deeper because it's a premium, but yeah, I love this matchup today.
Yeah, this is definitely also one of my best bets of the day. And, you know, we had Sassuolo and Napoli a few days ago, and it was 0-0 in first half, and then we had 2-2 in second half, and that was just a brutal game. You know, a lot of chances in second half, a lot of goals. Honestly, I would also take. I would take a look at Napoli in this one just because Atalanta is playing a very important game in the Champions League against Villarreal next week. And that is a game they need to win if they want to advance to the next stage. They are playing at home, and I like their chances right now because Villarreal is so inconsistent. It's just crazy. They are not scoring goals. They're struggling defensively. They are making mistakes all over the place. So I do think that we're going to see a bit shaken up roster for Atalanta in this game. I'm not sure we can expect all the starters in the first 11, but I do think Atalanta will score a goal here just because Napoli is getting sloppier defensively as of late. So I'm going to take a swing at Napoli and both teams to score in this one. Just Napoli on the money line is plus 137, this big matchup. So if you add both teams to score to this one, you are getting plus 333 on Napoli. That's the pick that I love, actually. I think I'm going to put some money on that one.
Yeah, it's ballsy. I like it. Like I said, I think both teams get on the scoreboard. So that's what I'm liking here, and I'm seeing goals, but I'm definitely staying away from a side. I think either of these teams are capable of beating the other, and in that case, when I just don't see a clear-cut side, I'm just attacking it from a different perspective altogether.
I would say that's all for Serie A now. We got a very big matchup coming in La Liga in Spain. It's 10:15 a.m. Eastern. It's Barcelona versus Real Sociedad, and I see the lineups just got out. So I would say both teams are starting pretty strong in this game.
Barcelona is playing Real Betis.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said Real Sociedad.
Oh, my bad if I did. I apologize.
Okay, so are we on the Barcelona or the Sociedad match?
Barcelona. They are starting in about 45 minutes. So
okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to be boring here because I have a premium on this one also. You guys who have listened to me before know for most of the season I've been a fade Barcelona every time, but with Xavi and their new coach getting it turned around pretty quickly, I think he's got them headed in the right direction. I think Barcelona gets a win here, but that's not what I'm on. I see an interesting matchup. Real Betis is in pretty decent form too, and Barcelona still, I think they have the most work to do defensively, and that's on my premium. So I'll just kind of let you swing away at that one.
Yeah, we see Barcelona as minus 200 favorites in this game, and their starting lineup is once again filled with almost 17-year-olds. Who have nothing to lose. They don't have any respect for anybody. They just go and play soccer like they're having fun. And it's been kind of working for them as of late. Xavi has been doing a great job in kind of incorporating them to the starting lineups. So I think they will have another great game. They got to stay playing well because they're facing Bayern Munich next week in the Champions League. And beating Bayern right now in their current form is not something I would put my money on.
That's a tall task for anybody, yeah.
Yeah, but in this game, I'm just looking at the trends a bit. Barcelona has been playing drawing for a while now, so kind of being drawn towards the draw. But Betis has also been in great form, so both teams to score a lower 2.5. I think that's the best pick you can get here. But if you wanna be a bit bolder, you can take Barcelona and both teams to score. That's something I'll put a little bit of my money on. So Barcelona is minus 200 favorites, like I said, but Barcelona and both teams to score is plus 180. And I just don't see them defending against Real Betis in their current form.
Yeah, I think you're right on, spot on.
Okay, now let's move to that Real Sociedad and the Real Madrid game, Ashley.
Yeah, so I will be brief on this one. This is just a hit that I've gotten for you guys on some free plays and on a premium. I'm just right now with the form that Real Madrid is in, they're just playing lights out, and specifically Karim Benzema. So I'm taking him to score anytime, and that's all I'm playing on this one. That guy's just been money for me, and especially lately. So just doing a prop on that one, Benzema to score anytime.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and stretch this one to get any better value. We are getting Real Madrid, who's on absolute fire. They have been winning all over the place. They are on a 7 or 8 game winning streak. Sorry. And Real Sociedad has been a bit sloppy, especially on the defensive end, and they're not scoring as much as they did at the start of the season. But they are still undefeated at home, and that's saying something. So Real Madrid on the money line at plus 120. I think that's the price we cannot miss, because it's not often that we get Real Madrid on the plus money on the money line. So I'm going to take that, and I'm not going to bother even looking at anything else, actually.
Yeah, I think that's a great one too, and good value. Good value for both of ours on that one.
Now, before that game, we have Atletico Madrid and Mallorca, actually. Have you taken a look at that game at all?
No. So Atletico Madrid has done me dirty a couple of times this season, so they're on the naughty list too. Mallorca is kind of a team that no one really pays attention to, but if you notice, they tend to find the back of the net. So yeah, I'm definitely not playing this one. If I had to, maybe a both teams to score. I just see no value with the form that both teams are in. I have no idea what I'm getting. I'm staying 10 miles away from this one.
Yeah, when you have Atletico Madrid at minus 300, and then with their defense so inconsistent, like some games they are so horrible, they are conceding goals from all over the place, and then some games they're just lights out defensively, and nobody can get through them. And I think that's going to be one of those games. But seeing that they are playing the Champions League against Porto next week, the game they need to win. They might need to get at least a positive result. But if anything, I would take Atletico Madrid to win 2-0 in this one, maybe plus 100. You said it that Mallorca can find a way to do that, but they are not scoring a lot this season. They have scored only 14 goals in 15 games, so I think it's going to be a tough task to them. So, if anything, I would take Atletico Madrid to win 2-0.
Yeah, or possibly like Griezmann to score. Antoine Griezmann's been doing really well. So, yeah, some of these I just see kind of props a little bit more worth taking aside. But, yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the last league.
That we disagree on, because, you know, that's when the fireworks start. I don't like agree.
Do you have any thoughts on League One in France, Ashley?
Well, I can tell you that I've not personally bet any of these today. With PSG, I know everyone loves to bet them. Good way to find value on them. You're never going to get value on them on the money line. Lens is not doing horribly. I would take a swing. This one's actually done well for me. I think 3 of the 4 times that I bet it. Just take PSG to win and both teams to score. PSG is typically conceding first lately to weaker sides, but somehow, you know, they have all of that talent, so they find a way to just swing away and get back into it and pull out that late goal. So if you want to swing for value here, I would take PSG to win and both teams to score.
Yeah, I somehow doubt it's going to be happening 2 games in a row that PSG doesn't score a goal with all that talent and ego they have up front, especially with Messi and Mbappe leading the way. But like you said, Lens has been doing a solid job so far this season. They're in 4th place, if I'm not mistaken. 5th, actually, right now. They are scoring a ton of goals, 29 goals. And seeing that PSG has scored 35 goals, they are getting really close to PSG in that defensive efficiency right now. But their defense is not as great. You know, they have conceded 22 goals. So there's no value in PSG on the money line. It's minus 175. I don't know what bookies are taking here. I think PSG should be the bigger favorite, even despite not winning their last game, despite not scoring a goal. But in this one, I'm going to take PSG at over 2.5. I'm gonna put my faith in them to score at least 2 or 3 goals in this one, and I think they will because, like I said, I don't think it's happening twice in a row that PSG doesn't score a goal.
Yeah, no, not with that roster. That would be extremely shocking if that happened.
Now we got a game that starts at 11 a.m. in France. It's Olympique Marseille versus Brest. What do you think about that one, Ashley?
I don't. I just don't. I love betting League One, but I can tell you I have no bets on them today either. I really pick my spots with them. I think it is a great spot for PSG coming off of a goalless draw and just embarrassing with the talent on that roster. So I think that's really the best value in those 3 matchups. Lille, to have won League One last year, they started horribly this season. They were a bet on team last season. But yeah, so this Marseille match, this Lille match, I'm not messing with either of those.
You know what? I actually like Brest on the double chance in this game at plus 150. They're on a 5-game winning streak, and their defense has been quite solid during that streak. But we know that Marseille is one of the best teams in France this season, but they are not as consistent as you would expect it to be, especially when it comes to scoring goals. So I think there is a value on taking the Brest here on the double chance, even better, plus 150. I think it could be a rough game. I think we're going to see a lot of yellow cards in this one. I think it's going to be a battle, if you ask me. So yeah. I'm going to put something on that Brest double chance at plus 150, actually.
Yeah, and on games like these where you see a lot of yellow cards flying, when you have teams that just really don't like each other, sometimes can't pick a side, just take, each team to have over 1.5 yellow cards. I know there's a lot of people that like to bet the cards market. I'm not really big on that myself, but I do in certain matchups, and I think that might not be a bad one to take a shot at, each team getting at least two cards there.
Okay, now we have this Lille and Troyes game. That's the last game for our live show today, guys. Ashley, any thoughts on that one?
No, like I said, Lille just too shaky. This Troyes, they're a newer team, but they're not doing horribly. There's no way I wouldn't bet your money on it. So that's bad because I'd throw your money pretty much anyway. So.
Thank you for being so considerate to me, Ashley.
Yeah, I have nothing on that, but I did. So in the Netherlands, there's a match I like today that I wanted to give you guys, and I think it's getting a pretty good price. So usually in the Netherlands, Eredivisie, it's pretty expensive taking both teams to score and over, but I do like it in this spot. So it's either going to be listed as PSV or Eindhoven, or maybe just PSV Eindhoven, but they're playing a team called Utrecht, and I really think that's a good spot for both teams to score and over 2.5 for anyone who's interested in Netherlands matches, and you actually get that at minus 110, and I think that's pretty good value. I'll be putting a little bit on that.
Now that's the game I would bet your money on, Ashley, if you ask me.
I bet my money on it. So.
PSV is playing in the Europa League against Real Sociedad next week, and they haven't been actually scoring that many goals lately. And honestly, I wouldn't be even considering them, me personally, in this game, just because Utrecht has been quite solid as well. And I know that PSV needs to win this game to stay in good form for that Europa League matchup, and they're going to try to keep up with Ajax, who's at the top of the standings. But PSV is now 5 points away from Ajax. Their defense is not doing a great job right now. They have already conceded 21 goals so far this season.
Yeah, so, which I love for both teams to score and over.
I'm staying away from that one, actually.
You go ahead. I'll take the money.
Yeah, and there we go, Chris. We gave a lot of free picks, a lot of information. I think that's it for this live show.
Absolutely. So this is why you guys got to tune in. I've had to change a couple of my bets off air because I got some late information from these guys, two of the best that we have going at soccer or any sport for that matter right now. Definitely killing on the 7-day leaderboards. Guys, do you have anything for sale today just to kind of round it up, make sure that everybody knows what's going on over at Pick Dogs?
Yeah, so I have Well, I had a 4-pack, but that included the Chelsea match that's gone off. So I do have a 3-pack left up. So, and it's got some of the big exciting games. You know, a lot of times I dig into the lesser leagues, but I did throw in a couple of the marquee matchups today. So.
Yeah, and I have a 5-pack ready to go, guys. My first game starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, so that's in about 17 minutes or so. There's a ton of value in that pack. I got one plus 250 pick in there as well, so you'll be making a lot of money with us today, guys.
Yeah, I don't think there's any such thing as lesser leagues. I think we're all just interested in making money wherever it takes us. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, there's one of our older cappers said there's golden end our hills. Well, you can tell you that definitely the case, especially in soccer. But thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate it. First run at the weekend show. I had a blast. I had a blast listening to these guys talk about soccer. Thank you guys for joining us, and Warren Ashley, thank you guys for doing what you do and giving these guys some winners.
Yeah,
see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to doing this show every day and just trying to make it bigger and bigger and get people interested in this sport that we love so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to drop a like. Let's catch some winners.